All right, y'all, so it is delivery day. I got the iKamper SkyCamp Mini getting ready to go on my Putco VentureTech bed rack, but I've learned a couple new things that thankfully, God willing, everything worked out in the way I was able to get some things shipped here. But I want to take you on in and show you one more little kind of side effect, hard lesson learned almost, that I've experienced in trying to making all these pieces of gear compatible. So you could go back and look at my previous video that I did that spoke to roto packs and max track bores and just all that stuff I was running into and how they were not compatible with the VentureTech mounting plates. And so I explained that in great detail. Well, now that we're getting ready to put the iKamper on it, I learned a couple more things about measurements. So let's take a look at that real quick. So the big thing to note is that as I have the Silverado ZR2 with the 5-foot 8-inch bed, I got the VentureTech bed rack installed, which goes right into the stake pockets. And these just standard crossbars that are part of the frame sit at 57 inches in between them. So probably closer to 59 or 60 inches if you were gonna mount something to them. And looking at the SkyCamper, the reason I went with the Mini is I did not want that tent to be hanging all the way off the back of this truck like I see some people do. And that's fine, but it's a king size bed. I didn't want that much space. I just wanted something that my wife and I are used to with the two of us. And it's gonna snug in here much nicer, especially since the cab of the truck sticks up a little bit higher than the bed rack. I think it's all gonna really flow together really nice. But what I discovered the hard way is that the SkyCamp Mini has a requirement to not have crossbars be any more than 39 inches apart. So I got a little freaked out as the tent was already on the way and I wanted that thing installed before I take off this weekend. So I got a hold of Putco and was able to work out getting their crossbars sent to me. So I got two of those. We're going to install those first, which will move the gear just a little bit. I'll have to slide the tanks a little closer together, and then I'll put one crossbar on either end of those, which will fit in the gaps here just inside of the mounting spots for the large mounting plate that Putco has. And then when it's all said and done, I'll have a couple crossbars I can get this tent mounted to. So here we go. So a little update on the installation. Both fuel can and water cans are completely off, and I am getting ready to take off the big mounting plate that the traction boards are on, because these crossbars are mounted the same way as the rest of the stuff here with Putco is, which means you have to slide these little nuts down inside the rail, which the access for them is only right here at the end. So I'll drop them in, slide them all the way down to where they got to be, then I can rebolt everything back in place. I think in hindsight, I didn't need to take the entire cans off, so that was a bit stupid of me. But this is annoying. So if you're ever gonna do this like I am, there's a process to mounting everything on. You wanna make sure you get the cross rails on and mount those at the same time you're mounting any side accessories, just so you can get all these nuts in place one time. All right, we figured it out. It is a tight fit though. Not only do the Putco crossbars, I mean, just barely fit, but once I got them in there, just based on where this long mounting plate sits, I can't go on the other side of it, right? So I go inside of it right there. There's 7 1/4 inches perfectly between that cross rail and then the frame of the actual rack. Same thing on the other side. And then what it did here though is coming across perfectly parallel, those two molly panel plates are butted right up against each other, and that is absolutely as tight as it can get all the way across. Now it looks good, but there is no margin, no room to do anything else with it. So let's get the tent. All right, we got her on. You can see how the Mini sits on a Silverado 1500. If they did a queen size bed one, it would be perfect, because then that thing would just stick out probably flush with the end of the truck. But the King goes way out further. I don't like the look of that, but this is where I've got it set. Everything's parallel and measured up. Now we're gonna see how hard it is to actually bracket this thing down. And sure enough, just to kind of show you what we're dealing with, that's the mounting rails on the tent and how short they come to the frame of the bed rack. That's why I needed the crossbars. 1, 2, and there's plenty of room yet to spare on either end of those new crossbars I just put on.